T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off. The first ever fully and rapidly reusable Moby ship has lifted off from the surface of the Earth and will travel all the way to the International Space Hotel for the first ever crewed flight of the Moby ship. So, as we are in the flight, let me give you some more information about the Moby ship. The Moby ship is a fully and rapidly reusable spacecraft, and the reason why I am calling it rapidly reusable is that it can be connected to the first stage again after landing in just a few minutes. And after refueling it, it is ready to fly again. That's it, fast. The first stage is powered by 3 Titan engines and 2 Hawk engines, and the second stage, that is the Moby ship, is powered by 2 Valiant engines and 1 Hawk engine. This is the Earth-to-Earth travel variant of the Moby ship, as it returns back to the Earth once after reaching the orbit. The first stage returns to the launch site after stage separation and is catched by the refueling and launch tower. And the ship also returns to the launch site and is catched by a tower that stands near the launch tower. This tower is a moving tower and supports the restacking of the ship on top of the booster. And a fun fact is that this spacecraft in any way does not involve any kind of landing legs. All this amazing architecture will be demonstrated as we progress through the mission. And as you can see, our first stage has started a boost back burn, and also it has shut down its 2 Titan engines like the Pigeon 9. And if you don't know what's the Pigeon 9, you should check out the other videos on my channel that I uploaded earlier. And we have boost back burn cutoff, and our first stage is aligning itself back into the vertical position to be catched safely back on the launch tower. And we have second stage engine ignition, and now second stage is continuing its way to orbit. And we have nominal orbit, and we have started navigation, and now the orbit of the second stage will be aligned to the orbit of the International Space Hotel. And we have nominal orbit. Second stage has aligned to the International Space Hotel, and now we are back at the first stage, and our first stage will perform a re-entry burn at an altitude of 20 kilometers. And we have re-entry burn startup. Our first stage is performing a re-entry burn to get at a nominal speed to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. And our booster has performed a really good re-entry burn, and all the systems look really good on the first stage to be cast back on the launch tower. And now we will be having landing burn coming up at an altitude of 2000 meters. And landing burn startup. Our first stage is performing a landing burn to be cast safely on the launch tower. The speed of the first stage looks good, and our launch tower is ready to catch the booster. Our first stage is really close to the launch tower as well as the cast tower. The docking port you see on the top left of the booster will be used to catch the booster back on the launch tower. Catching coming up. We hope to have a nominal catching, and we have almost catch the booster. And catching confirmed. Our booster has successfully been caught by the launch tower to be reused again. And now we'll be heading back to the second stage for the docking and rendezvous to the International Space Hotel. All the systems on the second stage look good, and now we are heading towards the International Space Hotel. And our second stage is at a close proximity to the International Space Hotel, and we'll be seeing docking in a few moments. All the docking work done right now will be done by the RCS thrusters on the second stage. And we have docking coming up. Docking will be confirmed in a few moments. All the systems look good. And successful docking confirmed. Our Moby ship has successfully docked to the International Space Hotel and has brought the first ever crew and cargo to the International Space Hotel. And now, in a few moments, we'll be having the undocking of the Moby ship from the International Space Hotel, and our Moby ship will turn back to Earth to be catched by the catch tower. And the Moby ship will be catched by the same docking port that we have used to dock with the International Space Hotel. And undocking coming up, and our Moby ship has successfully undocked from the International Space Hotel and now will continue its journey back to Earth. And second stage ignition coming up. Second stage ignition confirmed. Our second stage has ignited its engines to return back to the surface of the Earth. And we'll be having two burns to align the trajectory of the second stage with the catch tower and the launch site. And very soon we'll be having the engine cutoff. And second stage engine cutoff coming up. And engine cutoff confirmed. Our second stage has cut off the ignition of its engines. And now our second stage will go a little bit lower in this trajectory and will perform this second ignition. These two burns are really crucial for our second stage to align its trajectory to the launch site and also lower the speed of the second stage as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. And we have ignition startup. And ignition cutoff. Our second stage is now in a perfect position to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere at a really low speed, and we let the atmosphere perform most of the work of lowering the speed of the second stage. Re-entry of the second stage coming up. And our second stage is about to enter the lower atmosphere of the Earth. And as we can see, the re-entry has begun. The velocity of our Moby ship is getting lower. And as we re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, the RCS thrusters are doing its work of aligning the second stage so that it doesn't blow up during re-entry. And our second stage has come to a really low velocity. The RCS thrusters are also doing the work of aligning the second stage trajectory to the launch site. And now next up, we'll be having the landing burn. Second stage is now in a completely horizontal position to glide in the Earth's atmosphere and lower its speeds. And our second stage will go vertical at an altitude of 1000 meters. And we can see this RCS thrusters have performed a really great work of making the second stage vertical from the horizontal position. And landing burn coming up, landing burn startup. Catching coming up. Our Moby ship is ready to be catched by the launch tower, and catching confirmed. Our Moby ship for the first time ever has performed a successful catching on the launch tower, and now we'll be seeing restacking operations in a few moments. And all the engines of the Moby ship have been shut down, and now our catch tower will perform the restacking operations. And restacking confirmed. Our Moby ship has docked on top of the first stage to be launched again. And now we'll be seeing refueling of the first stage and the Moby ship. Booster refueled and the refueling of the Moby ship is underway. And refueling confirmed. Our ship and the booster have now been fully refueled and are ready for their next flight. And now we'll need to do a bit of staging of the booster and the ship. But first up, we'll be having the separation of the catch tower. And the catch tower is continuing to move away from the launch tower. And we have successfully moved the catch tower away from the launch tower. And now we'll be having the second flight of our Moby ship. And the staging of our Moby ship has been done, and now we'll be having the second flight of our Moby ship. and we have the second flight. Our movie ship has lifted off from the surface of the earth for the second time. And now I would like to take you to a second movie ship that has performed over 7 flights in a single go. And also, as we are here, I would like to tell you that our launch tower, that also acts as the refueling tower, can refuel the booster and the ship for over 8 times when it is at its full capacity. And now we are here at the second movie ship. And now I would like to show you how many times the ship has entered the orbit. And as you can see, you can count and tell me in the comments how many times this ship has flown and entered the Earth's lower orbit. And that's all I have for you in today's webcast. Hope you enjoyed the historical flights of the movie ship. And now we wish that our movie ship reaches Moon, Mars, and beyond. This was the Earth to Earth travel of the movie ship. And now in the upcoming videos, we will be traveling to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. For those flights, a different variant of the Moby ship will be used. That is the interplanetary travel variant of the Moby ship. So that will be a really exciting journey, and I hope our Moby ship enables the path of humanity becoming a multiplanetary species. And on that note, I would like to come to an end of this webcast. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.